Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your GIS News for Monday, May 15. The Andrew Holness-led administration is looking to establish a national risk registry. Mr. Holness says the registry will be responsible for conducting national risk assessments on a broad range of matters, including security, the economy, and the environment.
Aiming to inform civil emergency contingency planning at the national level based on a process of identification, assessment, and prioritization of a range of representative risk scenarios that are considered challenging yet plausible manifestations of the wider risks they represent, which would then be characterized based on both likelihood and impact.
The Prime Minister was speaking during a recent security forum staged by the Guardsman Group. He said the state would be seeking greater partnerships with the private sector industry as part of initiatives to improve public safety and security.
The private security industry is critical as sensors who can passively detect criminal activity and threats. They are critical as first responders, and they are critical as vital support for state security.
The agri-parks established by government will be getting a $5 million boost to their operations. This is part of the Agricultural Competitiveness Program Bridging Project, which will be implemented over a 3-year period. Portfolio Minister Carl Samuda says the project will include the establishment of the Spring Gardens Agri-Park in Portland, which will involve the production of banana, cocoa, and sweet potato. In his recent sectoral presentation, he also informed Parliament that Cabinet had approved a contract to improve the output from the Hounslow Agro-Park.
We have taken steps. We have taken the initiative to extend the Hounslow irrigation system affecting 500 farmers.
The ministry is partnering with Grace Kennedy to develop a 25.5 hectare property to produce peppers at Hounslow for the company's processing facility in the area. The Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, is encouraging farmers to be careful when purchasing plants to avoid the beet armyworm. Deputy Research Director of the Agriculture Ministry's Crop and Plant Protection Unit, Michelle Sherwood, says farmers outside St. Elizabeth who are planning to expand production, especially scallion, should be careful not to cause a spread in the outbreak, which could threaten other crops.
No use of the scallion from St. Elizabeth is being encouraged as much as possible, because we have found that whenever farmers move scallion, we found it in St. Catherine, we found it in Clarendon, we found it in St. Thomas as well. That's as far it has gone.
Mrs. Sherwood was addressing a recent JIS think tank. She said that while this outbreak had not occurred in many other areas in Jamaica, farmers in other parishes should practice crop rotation to avoid future outbreaks. The current outbreak of beet armyworm is evident in Springground, Duff House and New Forest in Manchester, as well as Comer Pen and Bull Savannah in St. Elizabeth. The Ministry and RADA have developed strategies, including budgetary support, to deal with the outbreak as an immediate response. Work will begin this October to repair the low wall barriers or groins at the Montego Bay waterfront to prevent further beach erosion. The Montego Bay Waterfront Rehabilitation Project will impact sections of the coastline from Closed Harbor Beach to One Man Beach. The area has lost over 7 acres of beach over the past 25 years.
This particular project reflects not only the government's serious commitment to ensuring that we carry out activities that will mitigate any impact of climate change as well as adapt to some of the change that we cannot mitigate, but it also reflects a commitment toward sustainable development in the economy.
The project, which is expected to be completed in September next year, is estimated to cost $3 million. At the launch on Friday, the Urban Development Corporation received an initial $600,000 grant from the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center to fund the work. The money was sourced from the German Development Bank, KfW. And finally, Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie has welcomed the recent launch of the Kingston and St. Andrew Development and Homecoming Foundation. The non-profit, non-governmental organization was formed with the objective of leveraging human, economic, educational, and cultural resources to foster development and improve the quality of life of Kingston and St. Andrew residents.
The foundation has come at a time when various investments are being put in place. The revitalization that is taking place right across the entire island. Kingston has to be the forerunner, because as the center of investment the center of business, the center of culture, and the center of entertainment, we must lead the way.
A special feature on the Foundation's calendar of events is the hosting of an inaugural Kingston and St. Andrew Homecoming Week celebration, scheduled for December 16 to 23. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.